I'm reading the book Rebirth, my story surrounding my birth experience with my first daughter. This is chapter 2 that I'm reading today. And as always, if you like the story that I'm reading, please like and share with anyone that you think might find it interesting or useful. And be sure to be subscribed so that you know when the next chapter drops. I'm reading chapter by chapter. And again, this is chapter 2, Discovering Midwifery. In preparation for Rocco's birth, I read many books. After all my research, one simple truth resonated most. Birth rarely goes as planned. Regardless of preparation or envisioned scenarios, birth tends to unfold on its own terms. This isn't to dismiss the importance of planning. However, each birth, like each person, is utterly unique, defying complete anticipation or containment. Perhaps many mothers begin with unrealistic expectations. The birth plans I encountered often struck me as comical, better suited for entertainment than preparation. Some prioritized poise, cleanliness, or speed above all else. In these accounts, babies arrived after minimal pushing, perfectly clean, swaddled, and occasionally even cooing or fully dressed. The mothers, meanwhile, were described as relaxed and refreshed, as if they had just emerged from a spa. While I wouldn't object to such an easy, gentle birth, I considered myself more realistic. I was prepared to welcome a beautiful, albeit bloody and mucus-covered baby into my arms. I was also prepared to be a disheveled mess. My naturally unruly hair misbehaves on normal days. How much worse could it possibly get? I didn't dream of perfect lighting, porcelain skin, or an angelic baby cooing on cue. Surely my down-to-earth perspective would set me apart, perhaps even make my birth plan both realistic and achievable. At the very least, I hoped it would establish a tone of positivity and hope. As my belly grew, so did my excitement and my concerns. I marveled at my body's power to create and nurture life, yet I also feared the cost of this miracle. A part of me knew it must be worth it, otherwise women would have ceased childbearing centuries ago. Still, that reasoning didn't alleviate the fear that crept in more each day. Mauro and I often discussed Rocco's birth. We defaulted to a hospital birth, but I dreamt of something more remote, wilder, a birth far from civilization with only Mauro by my side. I joked with Mauro about a secret birth, but he wasn't enthusiastic. Still, the dream lingered. I wanted to circumvent my fear of the hospital, of being forced into someone else's idea of birth. I lacked the facts or language to articulate it, but something within me whispered, there's another way. I didn't want to be streamlined, assign a gown, a number, or a timeline. I didn't want things to escalate, forcing labor or a C-section before my body was ready. I wanted to slow down time, not accelerate it. I wanted my baby to enter the world naturally, on their own terms. As I had no birthing experience, I knew I would need support. I longed to find someone I could trust deeply, yet I also feared giving someone else the power to make decisions about my body and my birth. Even after long conversations with Mauro, I wasn't convinced he could uphold that boundary. In the heat of labor, exhausted and under pressure, could he really stand up to a doctor urging intervention? I didn't want to put him in that position. I didn't want stress, confusion, or external influence to jeopardize this moment. I knew it wouldn't be left to chance or rationalized under pressure. These thoughts made me realize the importance of having a birth plan in place, not to control the birth, but to ground me, ease my fears, and clarify my hopes and desires to my care team. At the same time, I remained skeptical. I wanted to go with the flow. I allow everything its own unfolding and trust the process. I didn't think I had strong preferences. I didn't yet know what would turn out to matter most, what would feel essential, what would be negotiable, or what kind of decisions might arise in the moment. A few months into my pregnancy, my sister-in-law, Carrie, who was also pregnant and due just a few weeks after me, gifted me a DVD titled The Business of Being Born. She told me it was very graphic, showing in detail what to expect during the birth. I wasn't especially interested, but curiosity and a hunger for knowledge convinced me to watch it. I didn't expect what I witnessed. As the documentary began, something stirred within me. It explored midwifery, an option I hadn't considered, but the ideas resonated so deeply with my internal desires that tears welled up. For the first time, I saw my dream of a natural, empowered birth as possible, real. The film voiced the truth that I'd felt all along. It captured and revealed my hopes. And in that moment, I felt something new, excitement about giving birth. Suddenly, it no longer felt like something to fear, but sacred, natural, and beautiful. The next morning, we began searching for a midwifery clinic. We were already late in the pregnancy to be looking for a midwife or even an OB, but I hadn't wanted to rush. I wanted to trust that everything would fall into place. Everything I read about midwifery aligned with my values, longings, and beliefs about birth. One description especially reassured me. Midwives are highly skilled, qualified healthcare professionals who provide expert care for women throughout normal pregnancy, childbirth, and the postpartum period. They are trained to ensure the best possible outcomes and to identify potential problems for both mother and baby. We found 5 midwifery clinics in Toronto that served our area and contacted them all through their websites. 3 responded. After submitting questionnaires about my pregnancy history and reasons for choosing midwifery care, we were placed on waiting lists at 2 of those clinics. Weeks passed, and then finally, one called to say they had space for us. Excited and relieved, we booked an appointment. The clinic was in a standard medical building, like others I'd seen, but inside it felt different. A large waiting room with big leather sofas, bookshelves, and toys. It felt warm, lived in, and welcoming, like a gathering in a friend's home. As we waited, Matto and I curled up together on a couch, feeling safe in the soft hum of the space. A jolt of joy rippled through me, a glimpse of what it might feel like to give birth in this atmosphere. We were greeted by a midwife who showed us donated baby clothes, blankets, and books. In her office, she explained midwifery and the clinic's approach. I leaned forward, trying to absorb everything. She spoke thoughtfully, but explained that she wouldn't be on our team, as our assigned midwife was away. They had scheduled the appointment to avoid delays. Despite not meeting our midwife, everything felt promising. However, I wanted to meet her before deciding, so we scheduled a follow-up visit. When we returned, my hopes faltered. She wasn't fluent in English, which posed a barrier for me, as English is also my second language. Communicating complex emotions during labor would be challenging enough. Her energy was too calm, making me feel more tense. I needed someone attuned to my rhythm. Labor would not be the time to test my patience. On the drive home, Matto and I talked. He liked her gentle energy. I did too, in theory, and I appreciated her credential as an OB in China, but I couldn't ignore my unease. Another midwifery clinic had reached out. It made sense to check it out. We scheduled a meeting, fairly certain, barring another language barrier, that we would choose the second clinic. The only other option was an OB, but that now felt like the least appealing choice. Each discovery confirmed something within me. Midwifery wasn't just a good option, it was a pathway to something ancient and sacred. I was stepping into a new realm of trust, surrender, and quiet strength, believing my body knew what to do, and excited at the prospect of a natural home birth. So this is the reading of chapter 2 of my memoir, Rebirth. Again, if you like it, if you think of anyone who could benefit from it, who might also find it interesting, please like and share and subscribe so that you know when the next reading drops. Thank you for being here.